I'm down in the cellar and it's getting a bit hard to work down here because there's just so much stuff. It's mostly been put in the middle of the room when we moved here and not really done much with it. I've sorted a few things out, but stuff is spread out all over. So what I'm going to do is I bought some shelving units from the local bricko, and I'm going to fit them along this back wall. There is a small shelving unit there at the moment that's coming out, and that should mean a lot of the boxes that are sitting on the floor can actually be put up out of the way, and then I'll have space to do things down here. Now the floor in the cellar is mostly just earth, so it's a little bit damp down here, but I need to stand these metal shelving units on the floor, but it's not going to be, they're going to sink in just to the earth. Now what has happened down here before is that in various places we have patches of concrete, and so my shelving unit is 450mm wide, this concrete is 440mm wide. So I'm going to extend this out a little bit and fill in this piece down here with concrete, and then I should be able to stand my shelving unit on it. I'm not going to do a full waterproofing job down here. I don't think I need it. It'd be nice to have a totally dry workshop, but I can live with just having a concrete floor. I worked for years in just an outside garage which didn't have any waterproofing on the floor, and that was fine. So that's what I'm going to do down here, just extend this little bit of concrete out, put the shelving up, tidy up some of my stuff, and then perhaps have room to work down here. As you can see, I've now put some concrete in this corner. It's probably 50mm deep, most of it. It's 100mm deep around the edge, and this strip up the side is 100mm deep as well. So that should go off and become nice and hard, and that's somewhere for me to stand the shelves on. As you can see, I've now got the shelving up at the end of the cellar, and I put most of the boxes that were sitting in the middle of the room now up on the shelving, so that makes it a bit more room in here, or rather there would be more room in here if I hadn't got everything moved away from this side. What I'm going to be doing is building a workbench halfway along this wall down this side. It's about 4 meters long. I have got a concrete pad this end, and I've got the concrete that I've laid down that end. What I'm going to do though is fill in this middle piece with just about 50mm of concrete, which will give me plenty for just supporting the workbench and stand on. And then hopefully most of this stuff, which I've got here, most of this stuff will be going either on or under the workbench, and then that'll leave me space in the middle here just to put my big table saw. I've got my chest there with all my screwdrivers and chisels and things in. That will have my pillar drill sitting on top of it. And that also means that I've got quite a clear space now to the door that goes outside. I think once I've got that done in here and tidied out, the next big job is going to be removing the old oil tank, which is currently sitting behind this wood here, and it's encased in a little concrete block wall in case of leaks. So I want to remove the wall, get the tank out, and then that should give me a lot more storage space in the cellar itself. The job for today is to put a little bit of rubble in the bottom of this area and concrete it over. One of the leftovers from the central heating system in the house is this big oil tank in the cellar. It's taking up quite a bit of room and I don't need it. It's actually illegal now to fit a new central heating system powered by oil, so it's never going to be used. So I'm going to have to take down this blockwork wall. I believe it's been tanked in there so that if it ever leaked it didn't put fuel oil into the ground. The tank is okay. I don't think there's anything in it, or if there is, there's only a very little bit. So I'm going to take the wall down and then drag the tank out of here and free up some space in my cellar. Well, that's got the tank out of the way. I can't get it out through the doors at the moment because the scaffolding blocks it, so it's moved to the other side over here, but I have managed to clear up some of the stuff over here. There's still more work to do, of course. But today I'm now going to build the workbench across this piece of wall here. The concrete I put in has dried out enough And yesterday I went to the DIY store and bought some timber, a couple of pieces of worktop, and I should be able to make a workbench out of this. Right, so I just spent the last half hour or so putting some concrete in this gap, and that's now going to go off. Then I can move my tool chest and a couple of saws over here as well, and get even more room in my cellar. So it's been a good week, got quite a lot done. Managed to get a workbench along there, some nice shelving up at the back. Yeah, there's still a little bit of stuff to move around, but it's getting there now, and this will be a big improvement for me. It's getting a lot easier to work down here now. There's a lot more space. I've got a permanent workbench which is solid. It has a shelf under it for storing things, and I can put some of my tools underneath there. One or two of my tools still need to find a final home. The shelf unit with all my screws in is lovely, and I don't have to search through boxes to find the right size screws. I've got my chest with my screwdrivers and chisels things in. I've bought a bench grinder to sit on top to sharpen chisels. Got a couple of saws there. Shelving unit there, I've still got to sort that out. It's mostly bolts, boxes of bolts and things on there. The route to the door out is now nice and free. One or two bikes in the way. The oil tank's still sitting there. That's going to go soon. Hopefully I should be finished with the scaffolding in a week or so. So yeah, I've got plenty of room here. That unit there, all the glue has gone in every joint, so I've got to re-glue that up, and then I've got the marble top sitting here. It goes on top of it. At the moment I've still got a workbench set up across there on a couple of trestles. I may leave that. It's quite useful to have a second piece of workbench. And then of course I've got my nice new shelving across the back and into the corner, which I've made quite good use of, stacking things on. Like I say, there is still space needed to be made down here, but it's been a good couple of weeks.